This is our uh, ninth day on the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, and we are discussing the topic of consciousness. So, what is this consciousness? This consciousness is I am. Then, what am I? In contaminated consciousness, I am means I am the Lord of all I survey, I am the enjoyer. The world revolves because every living being thinks that he is the Lord and creator of the material world. Material consciousness has two psychic divisions. One is that I am the creator, and the other is that I am the enjoyer. But actually, the Supreme Lord is both the creator and the enjoyer. And the living entity, being part and parcel, the Supreme Lord is neither the creator nor the enjoyer but a cooperator. He is created and the enjoyed. For instance, a part of a machine cooperates with the whole machine. A part of the body cooperates with the whole body. The hands, legs, eyes, and so on are all parts of the body, but they are not actually the enjoyers. The stomach is the enjoyer. The legs move, the hands supply food, the teeth chew, and all parts of the body are engaged in satisfying the stomach because the stomach is the principal factor that nourishes the body's organization. Therefore, everything is given to the stomach. One nourishes the tree by watering its root, and one nourishes the body by feeding the stomach. For if the body is to be kept in a healthy state, then the parts of the body must cooperate to feed the stomach. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the enjoyer and the creator, and we, as subordinate living beings, are meant to cooperate to satisfy Him. This cooperation will actually help us. Just as food taken by the stomach will help all other parts of the body, if the fingers of the hand think that they should take the food themselves instead of giving it to the stomach, then they will be frustrated. The central figure of creation and of enjoyment is the Supreme Lord, and the living entities are cooperators. By cooperation, they enjoy. Now, this is very important. It's extremely important. You know, all of us are prisoners and we have a life sentence. We don't have a prison imprisonment of 1 year or 2 year. We have a imprisonment of a whole life. Now, what is the imprisonment? Being imprisoned in this body with this consciousness that I am the enjoyer, I am a separate enjoyer, and I am a separate creator than Krishna. And you see, this tendency can be seen even in kids. We do or very innocently say that kids are innocent, but they may create some strange picture and they are very proud of it. Have you noticed that? The kids have a very strong tendency to make some painting and they are very proud of that painting, although it may not look very nice. So that this desire for creation is so very strong. Srila Prabhupada has started this purport with what is consciousness, and we have discussed several times the sense of I-ness. I exist. Now, that is a very unique quality of the soul because that cannot be given or generated in matter or through matter. Is it clear? You all devotees are having an experience of this class. This ability to experience comes from this sense of existence that I exist, the sense of awareness. If you might have noticed, sometimes in a website, they will give you a riddle to make sure that you are not a robot. Have you noticed that? They will say select the squares which has bus. So that means a robot actually cannot diagnose that. So intuitively, they are not even aware that they are also, even Google also knows that living entity is different from robot. Everyone knows, intuitively, everyone knows that we are not machines. But being engaged in this material consciousness, we tend to identify that we are this machine which is the yantra of the body. So now the point is, how will we create, how will we enjoy? Through the body. So that's why material consciousness means I have to identify with the body. I will again repeat, it's not that just by being in the body I am conditioned. No. Only when I think that I am the body, I am a separate enjoyer, then I become conditioned. This is first. So, Prabhupada has given a very beautiful analogy, which is very famous analogy given in Srimad Bhagavatam, that yatha taror moola nishechanena tripyanti taskanda bhujopashakha प्राणोपहारा क्षुयथेन्द्रियाणाम सर्वाहरणम सर्वाहरणमिज्य अच्युतेज्य. Last line I'm not speaking correctly. Sarvaharanam achyutejya. So the point is, we in our life want to have satisfaction. Nobody can deny that we don't want to, that we don't want to be satisfied. We want to be satisfied. We want to be peaceful. So you see, what is the natural tendency of my hands? To serve the body. Just natural. Our hand does not go against our body at any point of time. This is very clear. Okay. So now, just like water is poured in the root of the tree, and in that way it gets distributed to all the leaves, every branch. Similarly, when the Lord is satisfied by our actions, we ourselves are satisfied and everyone around us will be satisfied. Now somebody may ask, may raise an objection that we see that when we pour using a spray some water on the leaves, then the leaves also seem to be becoming very green. So anticipating such objection, where there may be a possibility that we can directly feed water to the leaves, the shloka goes further to say, just like food when given to the stomach, only then the nourishment of the food reaches the various parts of the body. If we somehow that put food on the eyes, put food in the ears, it will not reach. Similarly, when a person worships Krishna, who's the root of all the demigods, as explained in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Adir Hi Devanam, I am the root of all the demigods and everyone. So then only everyone will be satisfied and every demigod will be satisfied. This is very nice. You have seen this point. By cooperation they enjoy. Enjoyment is not denied. Enjoyment is not denied, but a sense of separate enjoyment is denied. This is the takeaway point. This is extremely important point for our whole life. Separate enjoyment is denied or prohibited. Enjoyment in cooperation with Krishna is not denied. Just like we also enjoy this class with discussion of philosophy about Krishna or tattva about Krishna. We enjoy kirtans, we enjoy prasadam for sure. So this enjoyment is not denied. Problem is, just like when you put food in the stomach, there is absolutely no problem. The stomach will give nourishment to all the parts of the body automatically. Automatically. Can you see the mechanism of automation? You put food in the stomach, and there is no, we are not even aware how all the parts of the body are becoming nourished. Do you agree with this? Yes. Just like if the eyesight is low, then you eat amla, but not on your eyes. You can't just put amla in your eyes and you say, my eyesight will increase. No. We will put amla juice or whatever amla in our stomach, and whatever nourishment is needed by the eyes, it will be reaching to the eyes duly. If suppose somebody has a hair fall, I'm not opening a wire with the class, I'm just saying if somebody has a hair fall, then he eats certain things, by those he gets some certain vitamins, and your hairs will be okay. Like I was feeling very weak for some part of my life a few months back, then it was diagnosed that I had a vitamin B12 deficiency. So it was not that I was kind of putting it some kind of lepan or I was putting it all around the body. I took the medicines, or you can say supplements, in the stomach, and I feel that my energy levels all over the body are increasing. It's very simple. So, Krishna consciousness is not difficult at all. Just this simple point has to be understood, that our enjoyment cannot be separate from Krishna. Just this simple point, keeping Krishna in center means let Krishna be happy. Just see this. If I have an apple or anything, the hand gives everything to the stomach. The whole apple is given to the stomach. Nothing is left for the hand. Do you agree with this? We are doing that every day. But what the hand needs is supplied by the stomach. I'll repeat this. The hand gives everything what it receives to the stomach. But the stomach gives everything what is needed for the nourishment of the hand automatically. Clear? One more example is given by Srila Prabhupada, that the parts of the machine work in cooperation with the machine. And a beautiful example, analogy is given, not analogy, example is given by Srila Prabhupada in this regard, that two examples. He says, suppose this finger we have. So if this finger is attached to the body, then even if little bit pains are there, we spend thousands of rupees to save this finger. But if this finger gets cut off, then it immediately begins to rot, and we ourselves don't care about the finger. Is it not a good example? As soon as, or as long as the finger is connected with the body, it constantly gets nourishment. As soon as it is cut off, it immediately begins to rot. Similarly, as soon as we don't serve Krishna in some way or another, we are suffering. We begin our suffering. We begin to rot, if that is the word I would like to use. Another example which Prabhupada gives is, suppose you see an airplane. So does airplane consists of nuts and bolts as well? Answer is yes. So the nut and bolt is also aeroplane. But if that nut drops off from the airplane, it just lies on the ground useless. So the living entity becomes useful when he agrees to serve Krishna. Is it not a good example? Just see what is the value of a nut which is lying on the ground, and what is the value of a nut which is attached to aeroplane. It's rising in the air. In and of itself, the nut does not have any capacity to rise in the air. But in association with the airplane, it rises in the air and it becomes very useful. So Prabhupada used to say that, don't be useless. What does that mean? That means be engaged in some or other service of Lord Krishna, and we become extremely useful. People speak so many things. At this point of time, that means at this time, like 8 o'clock or something, normally people would read a newspaper. What use is of them, is of this reading to them? But now we are reading Bhagavad Gita, and we are recording it also, and somebody else will also hear, and this becomes the highest service to Lord Sri Krishna. And you see, my dear devotees who are in front of me, without your cooperation, I cannot speak this class. I'm telling again and again. Unless there is a person who's eager to hear about Krishna, the person, no matter how much he knows about Krishna, he cannot speak. So if I am getting any credit for this, I'm getting a lot of credit by the way, then you are getting the full same credit for organizing this class. Otherwise, mic can be there, camera can be there, so many things are there. But unless there are conscious people who are eager for hearing Bhagavad Gita, we cannot hold this class. And this is very useful. Lord Krishna says that any person who gives this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to devotees, he becomes most dear. So the person who receives, he will not be dear? It's naturally, I have also received the knowledge, so I am passing on the knowledge. So you are also the receiver of this knowledge, and in that way you are also becoming most dear to Krishna. Prabhupada elsewhere says in his lectures that no one hears Bhagavad Gita in this world. When anyone hears, Krishna becomes extremely happy. So you understand, when we discuss Bhagavad Gita, when we discuss Krishna Katha, Krishna becomes happy, and then we enjoy. Then we become happy. I went to Haridwar for 3-4 days. So I could see the condition of my Tulsi Devi not receiving water for 3 or 4 days, especially this hot season. And no one was there in the home to take care. And now I see as soon as you put water, how much how much nourished she feels. Are you able to follow this? So now by cooperation they enjoy. So one thing we should be very clear. What will please Krishna? What is Krishna's enjoyment? Very clearly told in Srimad Bhagavatam, Atah pumbidja sreshta varnashrama vibhagashaha swanishtitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. O Brahmanas, here Sutta Goswami is referring to the Shaunak Rishi. Shaunak Rishi means the sages of Naimisharan, that the purpose of all the Varna and Ashram and doing all the religious activities prescribed, duties prescribed in the Varna and Ashram system is to please Lord Hari. Now the question is, how Lord will be Hari? How Lord Hari will be pleased? Then he says, Tasmadekena manasa bhagwan satvatam pati srotavya kirtitavyascha dheya pujascha nityada. That a person, because the purpose of varnashram, or basically putting it, the very purpose of our existence is to please Hari. That's why, tasma, therefore, with a single pointed mind, one should hear about Krishna, one should talk about Krishna, kirtanam, one should think about Krishna, dheya, and one should worship Krishna. So, if we want to be happy, in case you want to be happy, then the only way we can be happy is when all our activities are dovetailed. That means they are behind these 4 activities. Hearing about Krishna, talking about Krishna, remembering Krishna, and worshipping Krishna. Is that clear? So, if that is clear, then we will be happy. This is a simple formula, but when person does not know, he will talk about Maya, he will he will hear about Maya, he will remember Maya, and he will worship Maya, and in that way he will become miserable. So again I am repeating, enjoyment is not denied, but separate enjoyment from Krishna is prohibited, because not only prohibited, but it's not just possible, it's just not possible. Now it's very interesting. Why? You may be a software engineer, you may be a businessman, a retired person, or a household person, anyone. If our focus is in these 4 activities, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, and means rememberings, hearing, chanting, Smaranam, remembrance, and worshipping Krishna, then you will see in your life a very amazing peacefulness descends. Before we go forward, I'll again bring your attention to this point which we were discussing yesterday. Pure consciousness means pure actions, if you remember. And the symptom of pure consciousness is threefold. First is swachhatvam, transparency, and the result of that is serenity or clarity. Clarity, I would use the word clarity. And that will help us to get a reflection of Lord in our heart. Bhagavad Sarup, Bhagavat Bimb Grahitvam. That means that the reflection of the Lord, Bimba, Sarupa, the reflection of the Lord will be reflected or perceived within the heart of the living entity. So many times people say, I am not able to see Krishna. Why? Because the heart is impure. So by this hearing chanting process, our heart becomes pure, clear. This is first, pure consciousness. And second is that avikaritvam, that as the consciousness becomes pure, the things and situations around us will not be able to make it impure. Very nice point. One time, I was a younger, I would not say, like I say, younger devotee than what I am now. And there were so many ladies in Kartik time wearing all kind of nonsense. I mean, all kind of people come. So I was kind of disturbed, and I asked to a senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, said, don't they have sense that they are coming to temple and they are wearing such strange dresses? He gave a very wonderful answer. He says, it's not what is outside, but what is inside. I could not appreciate that point, but now I'm appreciating this point, that whatever is outside, we are becoming attracted because our heart is dirty. If the heart is pure, it doesn't matter what is outside. And point is, if you think about it, we don't have any control what is outside. Is it not? In Kali Yuga, what is, wherever you see, there will be some strange things seen. So you will see, as we chant very nicely in the morning, as we have a very strong hearing and chanting program, the heart becomes pure. So we don't become attracted by these vikar or agitations. This is second. Are you able to remember this? And also, there will be ability to focus. There will be an ability to focus on anything you want. And that's why people tell us that when they begin to chant Hare Krishna, they're also able to focus on their studies if they want to. Anything you want to focus, you'll be able to focus. Three things you see. Pure consciousness means transparency. So some awareness of the Lord will be there in the heart. Second is, it will not be disturbed by outside things, by so many outside disturbances, and it will not be, you will be able to focus. Vikshepa abhav. You will be able to focus on the Lord if you want to, or anything if you want to. So, why I'm saying this? Because when we act in cooperation with the Lord, our consciousness begins to get purified. And the effect of this will be seen in your heart. How many of devotees, at least whom I'm seeing, you can just nod your heads. Do you feel more peaceful when you chant Hare Krishna in the morning? Just see. Can you see that by sense gratification we are not becoming happy? Yes, that's why you're hearing Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, you might have been just watching TV. You yourself know that this is not good. It's not. So you see, by somehow or other associating with devotees, we begin pure actions. Pure actions will lead to pure consciousness, and pure consciousness will again inspire us to act only in cooperation with the Lord. That which is pure, again, which will lead to more pure consciousness. Some devotee has asked a question. Is devoteal activities are also direct bhakti? Very good question. Very good question. Bhakti means there are two kinds of bhakti, which is called Swarup Siddha Bhakti and Sangha Siddha Bhakti. Swarup Siddha means the very form of that action is for the pleasure of the Lord. Just like right now I'm talking about Krishna. So this is called Swarup Siddha Bhakti. But before that, I was making sure that internet connection is there. I was making sure that the proper camera is installed. I was also making sure that the mic is working. So installation of camera, or properly putting the camera stand, or putting the mic stand and making sure the web internet is working is not bhakti in itself, but because it is for helping Swarup Siddha Bhakti, it is called Sangha Siddha Bhakti. Sang means association. By the association of pure devotional service, these actions also become bhakti. Are you able to follow this? Just like, if I ask you, is taking bath bhakti? What is the answer? I can nod your head. You're saying yes. So, were you not taking bath before coming to bhakti? Yes, you are taking bath. What are you doing bhakti? I said no. So taking bath in and of itself is not bhakti. But when you take bath because you have to do arati of the Lord, then it also becomes bhakti. Is it clear, Varun Prabhu? I hope this is clear to you. So activities which are, again I'm repeating the same point, which is told in Srimad Bhagavatam. All the varnashram activities have to be behind this Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam and Vandanam. Well, not Pujanam, worship of the Lord. ठीक है ना? Okay. The relation is also like that of the master and the servant. If the master is fully satisfied, then the servant is satisfied. Similarly, the Supreme Lord should be satisfied, although the tendency to become the creator and the tendency to enjoy the material world are there also in the living entities, because these tendencies are there in the Supreme Lord who has created the manifested cosmic world. A very simple point. How we can become happy in Krishna consciousness? Do you agree if you're happy doing something, you won't give up that thing? Okay, it's very simple. So what is our difficulty being a conditioned soul? That we try to become happy by satisfying ourselves. But we must understand that the only way we can be happy is by tat sukha sukhitvam. The quality, tat means Krishna, that by developing the quality of being happy in which will make Krishna happy. Same point but in a different way. I give a very simple example. Suppose a person whom you love comes to your home. So you are feeding him, and most probably you have not eaten, which is a proper ticket. So while we feed that person, we are not eating, but we become happy. Have you ever done that? We are not eating, but because we love that person and he is becoming happy, we can experience that we become happy. So you see, the only way we can become happy is by selflessness. Now, a more subtle point which has to be understood. Are we the bodies? No. Are we the senses? No. So when we are trying to become happy by sense gratification, then also are we not selfless? Because there also we are trying to satisfy the senses, not ourselves. कुछ समझ में आ रहा है बात? Now, a person who is gratifying his senses, we normally call him selfish, which is also correct. But if you think deeply, you see he is not caring about his satisfaction, he is caring about the satisfaction of his senses, which is created by Maya. So basically, he is thinking about how Maya will become satisfied by me. An illusion, he is thinking, I am becoming happy. I hope this is clear. So we are becoming trained through Bhagavad Gita that we do what will please Krishna. You will see as we progress in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was thinking about his happiness and his distress. I will be unhappy if I fight with my relatives. But at least by Lord's arrangement, he was forgetting that his only relationship is with Krishna. And by hearing Bhagavad Gita, he became conscious at the end of Bhagavad Gita that Karishye Vachanam Tavaha Nashto Moha Shloka I'm forgetting that my moha, my illusion has become dispelled. I now understand that I am yours, I am your servant, and my only duty is to please you. Karishye Vachanam Tava. I will do as what you are saying. This will make us happy. Now, a point of clarification that when we say we are supposed to serve Krishna only, it means his devotees. Because Krishna also, it's not that we serve Krishna and neglect devotees, then Krishna won't be pleased. Be very, very careful about this. If we want to please the Lord, we must please the devotees. Now again, question will be there, how can I please devotees? Well, a particular devotee, at least those who have the same mentality as yours, you see what will please them or please him or her, what he needs. Just like right now, you expect me to speak on Bhagavad Gita, not give you prasadam. Do you agree? You don't expect that I will make prasadam for you here. But suppose you come to my home and you're hungry, then if I start speaking Bhagavad Gita to you, say, hey Prabhuji, I am so hungry, first give us some prasadam, then we'll hear your katha. Do you agree? This is called yatha kalam yatha kamam. I'll tell you something amazing, which will really inspire you to serve devotees. You must remember all living entities are servants of Krishna. And among them, those who are rendering devotional service are more and more dear to Krishna. So to develop the ability, what this living entity, I would say what this devotee wants. And every time you please him or her, then he is automatically blessing you. Is it getting clear? Sometimes the points are so simple but very difficult to understand. He does not have to say, I bless you. You will receive blessings automatically by his happiness. Have you understood this point? It's not that we only have to please our spiritual master. Because spiritual master will not be pleased fully with us if we only want to please him. I hope you are getting this point. Because there is a tendency that I will only serve my spiritual master and not serve other devotees. That won't please him. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj told to one of his disciples that I will be millions of times more pleased if, and he was naming one of his god brothers, that if you serve that devotee, my god brother. So it's not only about God, but also anything. Any devotee who comes in front of us, we should learn how to deal with him. Before we go forward, I will again remind you of this. When we meet a superior devotee, we should be happy. We should, if possible, hear from him. If we meet a person or devotee who's almost at our same level, we should make friendship. And if we meet a person who's lower than us in bhakti, then we should be merciful to them. Merciful also means to tolerate their innocent annoyance. They don't even know how to behave because they are not even conscious. We are all like that. So it's not that we become angry or say you are so useless and like that. No, no, no. You see, if our superiors are very gentle with us, we feel encouraged to come before them and render devotional service. And if they are like Hiranyakashipu or something, like very angry, then we become fearful. Hai ki nahi? Like that. And those who are envious, we serve them by just being indifferent. Let them do whatever they want to. They are also servant of Krishna, but they are all ignorant. We don't fight with them. So this will satisfy the Lord. This is a real devotee. This is principle. This is how we should behave. So this is how I'm trying to say that how the Lord will become uh, happy by us. This is simply by our behavior, simply by acharan, Lord becomes happy. So I wanted to tell this point that not only we have to satisfy Krishna, we must understand that when we satisfy devotees, we also satisfy Krishna. But remember, there will be some devotees who will be envious of you, and this happens because they are also going through the process. Then you won't be able to satisfy them. That's okay. I mean, that's okay means you just neglect them, and there is misunderstanding and all those things. You can't help it. Maybe Krishna will someday resolve the issues. But sometimes you must have had the experience that sometimes devotees, just no matter what you do, they don't become pleased. What you can do about it? You can't please everyone, but our attitude should be to please everyone. Our attempt should be to please everyone as far as possible, but we will not be able to please everyone. One time, one devotee, Natwar Prabhu, asked His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj, Maharajji, we serve prasadam, but we see sometimes some devotees become angry. Then Maharaj said, at least if some are angry, some are also happy with you. So your attitude should be to please devotees. Not that in this world nobody becomes happy with one person. It's not possible also. Everyone has a different mind, everyone has a different mindset, everyone has a different perception. It's okay. That's okay. But as far as possible, we should, if we behave like this, you will see we will not commit offenses. Do you agree with this? If we are respectful to superiors, if we are having friendship with friends, if if you know that there are somebody who's lesser than this, we become compassionate, then how will you commit offense? You will not commit offense. How will we be able to know Krishna is happy with us? Oh, that's very simple. Do you know what I like to eat? So if I tell you I like, let's say I like, not really, I like idli and sambar. And I think you told me that you are expert in South Indian dishes. I think so. I'm coming, if I come to Bhopal, I think now you know what will make me happy. Is it not? So surely you will make idli and sambar. That's the genuine point. So if you don't know and somebody tells I like idli and sambar, so how will you know that you will please them by making idli and sambar? Similarly, Maya Mugdha Jivanahi Swatah Krishna Gyan, the living entity which is bewildered by Maya, does not know about Lord on its own. Jiva Kripa Kaila Krishna Kripa Kaila Jiver Kripa Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. That's why the Lord Krishna, being merciful on the living entities, has spoken about himself through Ved, Shastra and Puran, through the Vedic literature. So Srimad Bhagavatam says, if we hear about Krishna, if we talk about Krishna, if we remember Krishna, and if we worship Krishna, he becomes pleased. And again, I'm telling, it's a very nice question, very nice question. Again, I'm repeating the same point. When we do these things, when we worship Krishna, when we engage in activities for the pleasure of Lord, our consciousness becomes purified. We feel serenity, we feel peacefulness. And peacefulness means happiness. Ashantasya kutah sukham. And then Shantasya kutah asukham. If a person is peaceful, he becomes happy. So when we serve the Lord, we become peaceful. The burning desires in our heart to possess more and more matter, mundane objects, becomes extinguished, and that is experienced. Agreed? So when we serve the Lord, we feel the peacefulness, the happiness which we never felt by accumulation of all which we tried to accumulate. So this is how we know the Lord is becoming pleased. Very, very good question, because I was reflecting upon it, and then one of my God brothers told a very nice point. It's not that after your death that you will know that you are becoming perfect. Even right now that you become, when we are doing bhakti, we become perfect. Very simple example is given. भक्ति परेशानुभव विरक्ति अन्यत्र चैसा त्रिक एक काला तुष्ट a person who does bhakti, his bhakti increases, and because of that he gets some experience with the Lord, and because of that he becomes virakta, that means he becomes renounced from this world. Just like tushti pushti shuddhapayonu ghasam, when a person is eating, with every morsel he becomes satisfied. Can you relate? You had a restaurant, is it not? You can feel the people who are coming to the restaurant. You say, ah, very nice, very nice. So if they have something nice to eat, they will say, they feel satisfied. Oh, we don't have to have a restaurant for this. All of us are going to have prasadam at 15 minutes down the line. So we'll feel this. Remember this from your Gita class. Now you're going to have prasadam. So with every morsel, you feel satisfied. Pushti. If we don't eat food, we become weak. So when we take food, we begin to feel strength. Agreed? And tushti, pushti and shuddhapaya. That means the hunger becomes subsided. Have you not noticed that when we have hunger, we are disturbed? And same kind of hunger is there for mundane achievements, for women, for wealth, for followers and all those things. Have you not noticed? So when we start doing bhakti, from the first day itself, we feel some nourishment. We feel satisfaction. We feel some experience of Krishna. Experience that Krishna Katha is enlivening is experience of Krishna. Do you agree with this? What is the evidence? Evidence is you are coming without any expectation of any money. We are discussing Bhagavad Gita, we are discussing Bhagavatam, we do it every day, and we are coming every day. So we are feeling some satisfaction. That's why you are coming here. So you see this point. No matter what we did, we never felt this kind of satisfaction before coming to bhakti. And now we are hearing and chanting about Krishna, we are feeling satisfaction. Now, if I ask you how much you feel satisfied by eating food, well, nobody gives you certification. We are self-certified. Aha, now I am full. Okay? It's like this. If the master is fully satisfied, then the servant is satisfied fully. Now, again, I give another clue which just comes from 4th canto of Bhagavatam. A question will be there: how can I please Krishna quickly? If that's how I'm going to become happy, I must know what will please Krishna. 3 things. Control one's senses. Sarvendriyo pashantaya. You control our senses, that means don't let senses go in sense gratification. Sarvendriyo pashantaya santusht yena kenava. Remain satisfied by what Krishna is giving us, and he gives us normal, duly. And daya sarva bhuteshu, being compassionate on every living entity. Daya sarva bhuteshu santushta yena kenava sarvendriyo pashantaya tushyati ashu janardana. By being compassionate on every living entity, daya sarva bhuteshu santushta yena kenava, you remain satisfied with whatever Krishna is providing for the bodily maintenance. And sarvendriyo pashantaya, by controlling all the senses from sense gratification, tushyati ashu janardana or Lord Shri Krishna, he becomes very easily satisfied. Very simple formula. So even if we can't do it, at least when we have heard it, at least try to be merciful to everyone. Even I'll just give a very simple point. Be merciful to the wife. I hope you're not fighting. Others also are not fighting. But husbands tend to neglect the services of their wives. And it can be otherwise also. Vice versa also. Just try to be gentle to the kids. Just try to be gentle to the wives. I'm not saying you are a gentle person. I'm just saying, just try to be more gentle. Just try to be more appreciative because that's what they want. You will see, and not only wives, but anyone who's doing some service to you, try to appreciate them, and you will see what amazing atmosphere builds around all of us. Very nice. Consciously not try to even agitate a person by words. Very nice. Whole day becomes so nice. You see what you give, what we receive. Krishna becomes happy by that. It's all from Bhagavad Gita, but I will cover it later on. And similarly, the Supreme Lord should be satisfied, although the tendency to become the creator and the tendency to enjoy the material world are there also in the living entities, because these tendencies are there in the Supreme Lord who has created the manifested cosmic world. Rest of the thing I will discuss tomorrow, because a little tough concept about completeness and all that we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you for giving your time. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. Point which is being mentioned here is that we also have a tendency to control. It's there. But that tendency to control comes from Krishna. So it should be used for Krishna, not to become a separate controller from Krishna. That will make us happy. Very, very nice point. Very, very nice point. And what else some devotees? Okay, that is there. Enjoyment is not denied, but separate enjoyment from Krishna is denied. Yes, and our point is, even if we want to enjoy separately, we will not even get enjoyment. And one very important point I forgot absolutely to tell you. This is very, very important. You see, when we try to please Krishna, we are infinitesimal, very, very small. So we are giving from our capacity, very small, like Hare Krishna, very simple. But Krishna, you are trying to satisfy Krishna fully. So Krishna will also try to satisfy you, or he will satisfy you fully. But his fully is unlimited. So you understand this point. Bhakti Sandarbha is explained that although the living entity is infinitesimal, very small, but his capacity to enjoy or experience happiness is infinite. This is amazing. We are all amazing. But because the living entity is infinitesimal, if we try to realize ourselves, we'll only get some enjoyment, limited enjoyment. But if we try to realize Krishna, by pleasing Krishna, we will get unlimited enjoyment. That unlimited enjoyment is only possible by bhakti. Okay, so many devotees have said, yeah, service to the Lord and their devotees is the topmost service which gives us all satisfaction at all levels. Yes. So like this. One important point which again I will also remind, every living entity is a servant of Krishna. So if we